Hello there. Oh, it's a bit bright. Let's turn that lighting down. A bit bright. Oh, that got even brighter. There we go. That's a bit better. It's the end of the day, so all my makeup's starting to come off. So, yeah, I don't want people looking too close. So, I am recording just a quick one today. I just felt called to say this based on what I'm kind of seeing and what people are saying to me. I think it's very easy to get confused by all the marketing do's and don'ts out there right now. And I wanted to actually tell you what the truth was. Because obviously, like, people who sell marketing products of some description, they are trying to stand out from the crowd. They are trying to, create their own niche and become an expert in one area. So as part of doing that, some one of their tactics is essentially then throw rocks at other methods, because obviously they want you to think, their way is the best way and their way is the way that's going to work for you. But because there's a lot of people doing that now, it's just creating a bit of mass confusion, which I think right now it's super important that we all have as much clarity and we all feel like we can just crack on and do what we need to do. Yeah, I just think that's really important. So I just wanted to clear up a little bit of a myth. So actually, just some of my favorite examples. So you'll hear things like, webinars. Webinars don't work. You might see that in adverts. You might hear that. And then, another ad might pop up a day later, basically saying, webinars are the best strategy you can do right now, and here's this template to give you the best results, and A, B, and C. And then you might get people saying like, oh, no one reads emails anymore. It's a waste of time, email marketing. And then, you'll then get other people being like, email marketing is the safest form of marketing. It's always provided consistent conversions. And it's definitely something you should prioritize. You might get people saying to do with social media, you might get people saying, you should be posting at least once every single day on social. So the algorithm, picks you up and promotes you. And then you'll get people saying, it's not about frequency. It's about the quality. Like, only post when you actually have something to say. You'll get people say Facebook ads don't work. You'll then get people obviously saying Facebook ads are the thing that allowed me to scale to 7 or 8 figures. You'll get people saying things like, you don't need them, you don't need a website. Websites are just glorified brochures and become unnecessary. And then you'll get people saying that, their business is transformed when they implemented this SEO strategy and people came to the website and yada, yada, yada. And the website was a super essential part of that. What else? You'll get people saying things like, professional photos portray your brand's quality. And then you'll get other people saying, photos from your iPhone or videos from your iPhone are fine because they're authentic and that's what people want. Actually, my favorite is, you shouldn't direct message people because it's spammy and people hate it. And then you'll get people saying like, direct messaging is the best way to build relationships with people. People feel special that you've reached out to them to build that relationship, and it's one of the highest converting marketing strategies out there. So I could probably think of a few more examples, but I feel like you get the picture. So basically, is anybody else just super confused? Because that's okay. You have cause to feel confused. So I'm going to let you in on the secret that I guess these people selling marketing products probably don't want you to know. But basically the secret is that it all friggin' works. Obviously, don't get me wrong, like some strategies you'll take to a bit easier, or you might pick them up quicker based on your skill set, your personality, your experience, and I guess kind of your belief system that you currently have as well. But it all works essentially if you focus on a strategy and you give it enough time. Chances are it will work eventually. So I don't know if this resonates, but if you've ever felt like you've tried something, or maybe you even feel like you've tried everything and nothing's worked for you the way you want it to, chances are, like I said, you've not given it enough time, or you didn't treat the implementation of that strategy like a science experiment. So by that, I basically mean, you have a hypothesis, you have a belief that you're, using that strategy to execute and manifest those results. So that might be, for example, the best way to sell out my event is through Facebook ads. Actually, maybe an event's not the best example right now. Okay, the best way to sell out my webinar is with Facebook ads. So that's your hypothesis. Obviously, you then go out there and you test it. You set a certain amount of time and you run your hypothesis, you run that strategy. Then obviously after a certain time, you'll then note down the results. And what you'll then do is you don't just give up there, which is what a lot of people do. You look at your experiment and you pick one variable, like you would a science experiment if you remember from school, and you change that variable to something else and you test it again. So that variable, in this example, for instance, that variable might be the image on your Facebook ad, or it might be the writing at the top of the Facebook ad. Obviously, only pick one of those things. But yeah, you change one thing and you run the test again for the same amount of time, because that would otherwise be a variable. And then you note down the results again. And then you obviously decide if you're happy. Even if you are happy, I would still recommend doing it a few more times, because you never know, you can always do better. So pick another variable, change that variable, run it again, note down the results. Again, you can say, right, which variable am I going to change next? And you can literally keep going. And arguably, you can just always keep going. And obviously, if you end up getting worse results than you did the last experiment, put the variable back, revert the variable back to what it was, and maybe leave that there and then change something else. And obviously, if you've never done anything before, so say you've never ran a Facebook ad before, I would always recommend learn from someone who has. But even when you have the knowledge, there is always going to be a period of time when you're testing and adjusting. So just don't give up too soon, and don't spread your focus too thin. Focus on one or two strategies at first and then milk them for all they're worth. And then when you're getting like the badass results that you're happy with, then you can introduce an additional strategy. But yeah, you're going to take that strategy through the same rigorous testing process as you took the other two strategies, or the other one strategy that you're doing. So I just hope that clears things up a little bit. In summary, it all friggin' works. Pick something, focus on it, test it, and just don't give up too soon. I hope that was helpful. See you later.